We're doing a Q&A series. I'd like you to leave questions and I will answer them on a weekly basis. I'm not going to answer them all at once because we got a lot of questions here. Probably got 6,000 questions so far. So I'll be answering about, I don't know what percentage of that, but it won't be more than 30. Will it? Maybe. So today we're going to answer questions, good questions. We're going to answer with some intelligent feedback that you could easily understand. For all the stupid questions, I'm gonna give you a stupid answer, and I'm gonna tell everybody what your name is and where you live. So Clinton from Instagram asked, what is the best overall starter forge? This is a good question because, you know, you think about this as, well, I could start with this one and then level up, or you could just get a good one and keep moving forward with that. So there's a lot of different companies out there making forges. Right now, my favorite one is a chili forge. This is an atmospheric forge. That means you don't have to plug it in anywhere. You just have to hook it up to propane. Now, I think this is the best starter forge because they're very well made. They will probably last you for as long as you can feel like making knives. I'm using them every day, so they'll last me for about a year and a half, and I kind of wear one out and then have to reline it. But for you getting started out there, I recommend the chili forge. They have 2-burner forges, 1-burner forges, and initially you might see something go, oh, that's expensive, but it's not expensive. It's durable, it'll last a long time, so you really enjoy using that forge. Anto from Instagram has asked, does Damascus make a knife sturdier or stronger or more elastic? Now this is interesting because Damascus is made of 2 or more steels. The modern version, what we call pattern welded steel, we commonly say Damascus. It is like any other steel. When you forge weld Damascus together, it basically becomes a mono steel. It's still 2 different types forge welded together. You can still see the layers. We're not getting it hot enough to melt. We're just getting it hot enough to weld. So in the old days, a lot of the bladesmiths would just use a soft material like mild steel or a type of mild steel that has some nickel in it and a high carbon steel. The idea was that you'd have a soft layer and a hard layer, and I don't think that was such a successful way to do it. That's why we don't anymore. I use 2 high carbon steels. I forge weld them together. 2 main benefits of Damascus is it looks good and it is easier to take care of. And the more you use it, the better it tends to look. Is it sharper? Is it stronger? All these questions. Well, no, all that really that depends on is a heat treat. How is it heat treated? How did you forge it? All those same variables that apply to mono steel like 80 CRV2 will apply to Damascus also. So it all really depends on what did you do to it and how did you do it. So is it stronger? No. Is it better? No. Is it prettier? Yes. Is it more has a more durable finish? I think so. So I like to use it because it looks good. It has a more durable finish. It's really nice for kitchen knives. And there's a little bit of a mystique about it, you know. It is always like your thumbprint. It's very individual. Each pattern is always different. So that's why I like it. Those are the benefits of it. But it's not magic. You can't cut engine blocks in half with it. And it's not any more, it has no more elasticity than anything else. I'm not Joe from Instagram who asked Will Smith, when I see you, I'm gonna punch you in the face. All right. So Mario from Instagram, I don't know why I want to say from Instagram. It's like from their own little country, Instagram. Mario on Instagram has asked about W2. And is it a water quenching steel? Because he sees people quenching it in oil, but technically it says W, so that means it's a water quenching steel. Well, that is true. However, you can quench any steel in water. That doesn't mean it's going to have really good results. What kind of water? What temperature is the water? Is it salt water? Is it fresh water? Is it rainwater? I mean, what's the temperature of the water? So I don't quench W2 in water. I can only tell you what I do. Real W2 is steel that has 0.87 or more percent carbon. In my stash of W2 I have, it has 0.20% or more percent vanadium. I do not quench it in water. I quench it in something called Parks 50. It's very fast quench oil, and the results are beautiful. As quenched, these blades are about 65 Rockwell, which is way too hard for a knife. And they need to be tempered after that, of course. But W2 does not have to be quenched in water. Dark Cloud Forge is asked about how to get a scary sharp knife. So scary sharp is a couple different things. It's not just getting it sharp. It has to do with steel, heat treat, edge geometry, and then finally how it's sharpened. So I set my knives up to be sharpened, and then all depending on the type of knife it is, whether it's a kitchen knife or a kukri, determines on how I'm going to sharpen it. I generally use ceramic and diamond stones. I used to use the natural water stones, but they're kind of a pain in the ass, so I just went over and started using diamond stones and ceramic stones. They're a lot easier to maintain, easier to take care of, even though they're not really cheap. So has a lot of variables. I will be doing a video on how to sharpen in the future. So hope that helps a little bit. Skip from Facebook asked, Forged is a web-based class. Also, you can come and take a class here with me. That is on Classes at Night Forge Studio. But Forged is an online class. It is exactly what we do here. So one of the most important things that you need to know is information is the most valuable commodity besides time that you can get your hands on. And I put all that information on how I forge this knife, how I make this knife into that video. Cosmic Charge from Instagram or Facebook. Okay, Cosmic Charge from Instagram has asked, does true Damascus exist? I've heard it doesn't, but if it does, whatever. Okay, I'm going to answer this real quick. If you know what true Damascus is, I find that very interesting. Damascus is a place in Syria. That's not where it was invented. I don't even know why they call that place Damascus exactly. True Damascus originally, that we know based on the little bit of information that is known, came from India somewhere. No one really knows how old it is or how long it's been being made. In the modern context, Alfred Pendray and my friend Steve Schwarzer rediscovered how to actually make Wootz steel. Wootz is what's true Damascus. It is difficult to make. Some people do make it. But in the modern sense of bringing it back into a modern light, into a modern context, Alfred Pendray is one of the pioneers, and my friend Steve Schwarzer was a part of that. He's still alive. Alfred Pendray is dead now. But what we call Damascus is commonly pattern welded, two different types or more that we forge weld together and make blades out of. So yes, it does exist. It is to be found. The mysteries and secrets of it are known, or at least the beginning of them are known. So we can make it today, and we still do. It's not magic, it's chemistry. So there's someone on Instagram named Nicholas, and I just wanted to pick someone randomly from Instagram who comments or likes on my videos and put a thought in their mind about something. So that it worked, and they sent me a question. And the question is telekinesis something that I really have the ability to do? Of course I can. Yeah, they're cool. Robin and Brian. So Robin and Brian from Instagram. You're not from Instagram, but I have met you in Elderbrew, so I know exactly what you're asking me. Have I ever made a Bali Song? No, I have not made a Bali Song, but I really want to. It's a cool knife. I've been very interested in them ever since I was a little wee lad, and I have plans to make some. I've drawn up some plans to make some. So the future will have Balisongs in it with your names on them, but not on the blade. It'll be like inside the handle, like made especially for. How about that? So Tom on Instagram has asked about reading materials that I would recommend for bladesmithing or blacksmithing. Don't look at knife books or anything with knives in them, and don't look at any blacksmithing books, especially knife books. Don't look at them. And if the question really turns out that you're asking for ideas or how you do it is one thing, but if you're looking for ideas or stuff to make, definitely don't look at images of the things that you want to make. I know that sounds really weird, but if you do that, you'll end up just copying something else. If you look at other stuff that inspire you, like bugs or kitties or stuff like that, then you'll be inspired to make something completely different, and you'll say, ooh, I like the way that cat's claw looks, or the tip of its ear, or something like that. And you may add that little curve of that line into your design. As far as how-to goes, that's important. Information is very important, and one of the reasons we put the Forge series together is to be able to share the information, because so much of it out there was just mythological. We wanted to make something solid, so that is solid, straightforward, direct to the point information. The Forge series, get it. Chad on Instagram has asked if I would do a video on forging a blade without a power hammer. Yes, I'll do that. It is essentially the same. One of the most difficult things for you to overcome, Chad, is being able to control the hammer and how to use your hammer. I'm going to do it. It'll be in the future. You'll see it. And for some reason, I always want to punch people named Chad, but I'm working on that. That's why I answered your question so nicely, and I'm going to do this for you, Chad, and I'm not going to punch you. But I might if I see you. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. Some of you have names that I just can't pronounce. Or some of you don't go by your name, you make up some crazy thing for your business. Like if you have a forge and your forge is like Exploding Raccoon Forge, change that and just put your name on there. CM Knives on Facebook has asked if there's any tips on getting a clean forged blade. Good question. The nature of high carbon steel makes it very difficult to get a clean forged finish. I forge very smoothly, and you still get the surface decarb, so that causes like that cool pitting and scale, and that's about as close as you're gonna get. But don't worry, it looks good. I know it looks good. I do it. It looks good. I made that way for you, so you can just see what I'm doing and copy it if you like. So smooth as you can get is lower heats and do some planishing. You can't hit it very hard, but you can planish, and planishing means making it smooth with the hammer. I might have made that up, but I think that's what it means. Alex on Instagram has asked how difficult it is to learn how to make blades with no prior experience. I said experience? I don't even know what that means. It's like word like George Bush used to make up words like that. Experience. No prior experience. Well, if you have a good instructor and you're in the right environment, you could actually make a knife and finish it in 3 days. Knife Forge Studio, Maker's Forge Studio, you can do that here. I teach that. It's a good question, because the easiest way to learn how to do something without investing thousands and thousands of dollars is to take a class. I have 2 ways to take a class, and I'm going to just keep saying it over and over again until you guys get it. There's an online class called Forged, and then there's a right here class. It's Maker's Forge Studio. Now this one's a little more difficult to get into, so when the class is open, they fill up really fast. But the other one, it's web-based. You can go and watch it right now. So Henry from Instagram says he's having trouble selling his knives, and he wants some, some advice on that. So there's a lot of hurdles when you make knives and you start wanting to sell them. Are the knives sharp? Do they look good? Are they rustic, amateur? What do they look like? I don't know what they look like. Sometimes I know people who make beautifully finished, perfectly made knives that just have a hard time selling the knives. And sometimes that has to do with personality. If you don't like talking to people, you're gonna have a little bit more difficult time selling them, unless they're just stunners and you don't have to say anything. You can just cut like the corners off of phone books and stuff and cut fire hoses in half and have really awesome hair. Then you're gonna sell the heck out of knives. But that's different. You have to make a good knife first. You have to make a good knife, You have to make a sharp knife, and you have to sell to the people that you know. And if they're cringy about it, then drop the price. You know, sell them for enough to get to the next one. The truth is, very difficult to make a living making knives. If you look at the cost, the expense of doing it, the time involved, you'll find out that the knife you sell for $150 that took you 15 hours to make, it didn't really work out to being very profitable. But I recommend make knives, give some away, sell some for whatever you get for them, and keep moving forward. Keep learning, keep learning. Be a good student of it. You know, learn from other makers. So that's a very detailed question for maybe something that you thought was simple, but I tend to just make people buy them. I just say the money's not as worth as much as the knife, and you can't make the knife, but you can make more money, so give me the money and I'll give you the knife. So that's how I use it. Lee from Instagram, I recommend buying steel at the steel store. Okay, that place doesn't really exist. I use various sources for steel, but when I buy steel, I buy hundreds of pounds at a time. So that gives me a little bit of an advantage. You can buy steel from Pop's Knife Supply. You can buy steel from the New Jersey Steel Baron. And there are other places to get it. You just have to kind of do a search on the web and you'll find some sources. Okay, Mark from Instagram, he's asking about what should he get, a power hammer or a press? He's in the Marine Corps, so that means he's probably going to be moving around some. And my recommendation is always going to go for press, because you can have it in a garage in a neighborhood and no one will really know you have it. So they're quieter. They don't make the the loud smashing noise all the time. So I would go with a press. And another thing about buying big pieces, high dollar items like that that cost 5 to 20 grand, it's an investment that's generally worth the same as what you paid for it. But I'll give you an example. Let's say you bought a press and it cost $8,000 and you used it for a year and you're like, oh man, I gotta sell this or I'm gonna move and I don't wanna move it. Then you sell it for $7,900. So you find out that press actually cost you $100 and that was all it cost you. And then you got to use it, so it was probably profitable for learning. I would say profitable relates to learning. So press, it's quieter. If you buy a good one, not a crappy little dinky one, buy a good one. And that way, if you decide you don't want it or you don't want to do it anymore, then you can sell it for about what you paid for it. But don't buy junky tools. Don't buy little dinky, trashy tools. Don't take your good tools and trade them for little dinky, trashy tools. I've seen people do that too. You know who you are. And just get something good and use it and enjoy it. You get what you pay for. Jason from Instagram asks, what makes me so enthusiastic about bladesmithing? Did I ask that question? Is that me? I just want to have a conversation with myself online. So it was better than having conversations with the trolls out there, I guess. So to answer your question is, every day is not like that. But when you see me on a video, I get in front of the camera and I want to have fun. So the truth is every day in my shop, in my studio is not a fun day. It's not an enthusiastic day. Sometimes I just want to, in fact, I get in here, I turn around and I leave. And that's no joke. Because I have you get writer's block or artist block. I'm getting artist block. Like I don't know what to make. I don't know what to do. Or maybe something else is bugging me. So I'm not always enthusiastic, but I'm excited to learn something new. And when I have an idea, there's not much that's going to stop me from getting into that idea. So when I work with a team and I get to be around other people who are encouraging me, that is very helpful. It's very helpful. It keeps my enthusiasm up. It keeps me interested in moving forward. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. Be sure to click the subscribe button.